Prove It Matters is the game show that introduces much needed debate to the world of business. Guests pick a topic, get 2 minutes to debate, and prove their points matter. All while I poke, prod, and generally try to mess them up. You game?
I am Daria Lamb, and I am Ambassador to the Future. I work for the Institute for the Future, a nonprofit 52-year-old think tank based in Palo Alto. My job is to teach people to think about 10 years out, to think about the combination of both how society is changing and technology is changing.
All right, futurists, what are you here to debate me on?
That there is no going back to normal, that life has changed dramatically by this random year of 2020.
We're 100% going back to normal. There are people today that are acting as if the world is already normal. Debate me.
All right. Well, I totally disagree with you, Leo. You are wrong, because people have learned that the things they take for granted, they have to do differently, that they have learned that the experiments that they were just starting to try out, like school on Zoom or, on Coursera, they're now using all the time.
Yeah.
Okay. And also people are really realizing that not things like COVID doesn't hit everybody all at the same way. So people are totally aware now.
Are they?
Yeah, they're
You can't even get people to wear masks. All the algorithms on YouTube are telling people that it's 100% fake, the world is flat, and the virus isn't real.
But the people are also aware that their lives have been dramatically disrupted. A lot of them been laid off. They're struggling to pay their bills. The stores and their shops or in their downtown are closing. They have to realize that life has changed dramatically, and they're doing new things. Do you know that people are going to like church in VR now, Leo? I mean, come on, that's
not beforehand.
But now all of a sudden it's become acceptable in there. So people are saying, listen, you know what? I'm not going to have to do these things around other people and take chances. I'm going to think more about what my relationship is to other people and the community and hopefully the climate.
Okay, but here, look, we have a vaccine coming. If the vaccine does what everyone says it's going to do, it's going to be fine.
Yeah, well, Leo, go ask those vaccine companies how many children they're testing those vaccines on. Because if we're not testing vaccines on kids, those kids are not going back to school, and those parents are not going back to work in an office because they still got to have their kids at home.
These people aren't worried about that. They don't believe in global warming. There is no global warming, so it doesn't matter. The kids are going to be fine.
You are just absolutely trying to be mean today.
They're like, again, YouTube is telling them.
No, people have rediscovered nature. People have rediscovered their core relationships. People have rediscovered that maybe the clothing that they wear isn't so important after all.
So now I got to spend more money for like a B Corp?
Absolutely. Absolutely. But the good news is you're wearing sweatpants every day, so you can spend more money on a B Corp.
So, futurists, what are you here to debate me on?
Well, Leo, I hear you say that there's no normal after COVID.
We're definitely not going back to normal. The world is 100% different. School's on Zoom. Work is on Zoom. Medicine, Zoom. Zoom, 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 Zoom. Debate me.
I am sick of the two-dimensional world being compared to the real world, okay? Because, Leo, the reality is that people are still going outside. They still have homes, okay? They still eat meals.
Okay.
So all of those basic interactions that they're doing, they are still going to continue to do. Yeah, they might do in different ways or use different tools, but our fundamental values of wanting to be with other people, wanting to learn, right? Except if you're a fourth grader, of course, fourth graders don't want to learn. At the core, people have these needs, and they're always going to work to get these needs met. And it doesn't matter that COVID took a year of our lives away.
No, social media has changed that already. This just put the fast forward button on everything that was already happening. People aren't engaging as much. Now, I want food. I just go to Seamless and I get it. And that was happening before this. Now, again, we put the fast forward button on all this.
Yeah, but you're still eating meals. You're still thinking about who you're eating Thanksgiving with and where you're going to spend the holidays.
No, I'm afraid to go to Thanksgiving. I'm not going anywhere with Thanksgiving.
Hopefully you're doing something fun like deep frying this year, okay?
It's completely changed. I mean, look at everything. Look at AI and what that's doing. Like,
but all of those things are always happening along the way. There are two trajectories that are happening in the world. One is society is changing, and one of those is technology is creating new enablers. But at the core, humanity still has those Maslow hierarchy of needs. The first, the food, the warmth, the water, the safety, the belonging. I mean, even church is in VR now, okay?
Yeah.
That doesn't mean that people aren't going to church or people don't have some kind of faith life.
They are, but they're going to be afraid to go out. Who knows? COVID is not the only thing out there. That's the first thing to really hit us. Throughout history, there have been many viruses. Now there's just going to be another virus. I'm scared. Other people are scared.
I'm glad you're scared, but hopefully you're learning too from this anyway. So
absolutely. People are learning to stay in.
But you were already scared of things. It's just that you've added to your list of what you're scared about.
All right. So we just debated both sides. As a futurist, as yourself professionally, which one do you think is right? Where do you think is it somewhere in the middle?
Yeah, no, I think the world's going to be different. I think that people are going to make new decisions and do things differently and try things differently, and hopefully see their impact. And I think there were a lot of like experiments that were forced to happen, like remote work,
Yeah.
and work life balance, and school on Zoom, which is not perfect for everyone, but for a lot of people, it's actually doing things. And people rediscovered nature, and they
Sure.
rediscovered who their real friends are rather than hanging out with 40 all the time.
Yeah.
So I think that there will be a nice reset of our values, and hopefully an alignment of our actions with our values.
Yeah, I agree with that because this is mostly a business podcast right now or show. What do
Mhm.
you think is the impact for businesses or business leaders? What do they need to be thinking about today for tomorrow?
Yeah. So I mean, a couple of things. One is, of course, like what's the next disruption, and have you considered it? And just like taking the time to consider a crazy possible future makes you more prepared when the next one hits.
Yeah.
So that's one of them. Understanding that these technology experiments maybe weren't so painful after all, and we
Yeah.
don't have to like build everything to perfection. That maybe we could try some stuff in there, more flexibility in there. And then, of course, I think the big winner here has been work life balance, hopefully,
Sure.
ultimately,
Yeah.
that everyone has realized that, commute times and work times can be really dramatically different.
Sure. Yeah. I guess it depends who you are, right? And what your station currently in life is and what you're doing.
Yeah.
Do you think that business leaders, and I'm talking about the CEOs, the board members and things like that,
Mhm.
were ill prepared and it's their fault for being ill prepared? Like they should be thinking about things like
Mhm.
this. Or was this, they're always operating in a sort of like calculated risk? Like, sure, this is something that could happen. An asteroid could hit us,
Mhm.
but we shouldn't be thinking about the asteroid.
Right, yeah, unless we're an asteroid mining company.
Yeah.
Um, exactly. I think that there's a lot of short-termism in business. I think personally, I want to get back on your show to debate quarterly earnings,
Okay.
because I want to get rid of quarterly earnings, because that I think makes a lot of people make a lot of short-term decisions. And you got to build a balanced portfolio of what am I doing that's getting me ready for going much further out into the future, and what am I doing to maintain today, but not being so bogged down in my everybody's expectations of me today.
Yeah, that makes sense. So where can people find you? Where can people find your organization? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, yeah. Institute for the Future. It's iftf.org.
All right.
We just released a whole series, seven toolkits and forecasts and card decks and all
Oh, I
kinds of
love
things
it.
for how the world might be, how society might be really different in after the pandemic. It was mostly funded by the Blue Cross Blue Shield Foundation,
Oh, nice.
and it's really interested in like the level for citizens and families. How's life going to look different? So
That's
yeah,
amazing. I'll make sure to put a little link there.
yeah.
You need to subscribe, hit that notification bell on everything and anything that you do because you're awesome. And I thank you.
Thank you.